Hey, I'm Nate with the Brothers on Whatever Show. We are here at Music Record Shop with Quiet Company. These guys are out of Austin, Texas, and before we even get started, I gotta clear something with you guys. You probably don't know this. Obviously, you don't. We were banned in Texas, our show. Are you still cool with doing something with us? Because I don't want to lower your credibility.
I gotta know how. What happened?
Apparently, you guys are the Alamo or something. You guys are really conservative out there in Texas or something. Because I mean, I don't know what happened, but we did how many shows?
23.
23 shows, man, and it was
like who banned you?
I think the people started calling in and they were like, dude, get these guys off the air. Well, I tell you what happened. We had a black guy in who was ganging a porn star, and that did it.
Wow.
That did it.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because most of my friends are exclusively black gay porn stars.
Okay,
Perfect.
then you
That's
guys
perfect.
are perfect, man. We're gonna this
Don't ban
relationship.
us.
Where were you? Where were you? We needed you.
This is gonna work
I'm
out.
sorry,
perfect.
that's
We
why
would have name dropped
I wasn't
you.
there when you needed me.
We'd have
Yeah.
still been on in Texas.
Yeah, man.
What was it? 1520 The Cube.
Yep.
Anyway, we're now on CBS Radio, 9:20 a.m. It's the Brothers on Whatever Show, Monday nights, 8 to 2 p.m. And we focus on guys like this, man. These guys are an awesome man. I don't know if you've got to hear him. I was looking on Facebook, and Matt Novoseski says, hey, you got to go check these guys out. And I think you produced your last record.
Yeah.
Is that right? Badass with Blue October, of course, my favorite band. So I had to go check you guys out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you guys came together? And you're here at the demo in St. Louis, by the way. We want to thank you for coming and bringing us your music.
Oh, of course.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Tommy and I have been partnered in this for about 9 years now, and actually met him through Craigslist.
That's amazing. Was it casual encounters?
It
That's
was.
weird.
It was.
That's weird, dude. T for M. That is crazy.
It's more a lot of fruit. It's been good to me. Yeah, that website. I was looking for something else, but I found something even better.
Dude, I love it, dude. Because nothing on casual encounters has worked out for me, but it does work,
In
folks.
Austin,
right
casual
here.
encounters is the place to be, man.
There it is. I'll be down.
Like a hetero life party. Yeah.
So anyway,
But so I had made the first record by myself, kind of playing most of the instruments except for drums and stuff. And it got picked up by this small whatever label, and I was honestly kind of in this point in my life where I was like, man, forget music. I'm gonna go back to school.
Right.
Do whatever. I'm just gonna make this record, and I'm only gonna record. Whatever. I'm not gonna play shows. And then I was like, well, that's dumb. So I put the band together, and we started, playing shows, and how many years later, like, here we are, just as handsome as ever.
oh, you guys.
Like 4 records later.
And Blue October's out in San Marcos or Austin, so kind of caught wind of this giant, beautiful sort of. People don't really build studios the way that Matt went and built the studio, so. And we were kind of like searching for a producer because we'd always self-produced our records and we wanted to do something different. We've been shopping around with a bunch of different names, and Matt kind of came in front of us. I don't even really remember the circumstances.
You met him at an Austin Music Foundation event, and he was just, we kind of like two ships passing in the night had kind of had encounters with him kind of peripherally before. We never really
You judged
met
about all
him
the
and
bands
stuff.
that we were in years before and did not pick us.
Ooh, I like it. That's even better. You're an acquired taste.
But we went to.
Well, he'd been a fan though for a while.
Right.
I actually don't know that he was the guy that kept us from winning.
I like to think of it that way though.
Okay.
Now, was it Tim Palmer involved too?
Yeah, Tim has mixed our last 2 records.
Right, and he did some stuff with you too and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys are in
Dude,
good
Tim has done everybody. Like,
You guys are in good
I bet I could go through this wall of records right here and find like at least like 15 or 20 records that he mixed,
That's
you know?
pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's a giant, man.
We were on the fence about using the Vesky though. I think until we went to the studio space and then we saw where it was working.
Well, we talked to a handful of other people before we kind of started talking to Noveski, and we even kind of started going forward with a couple of these guys, and some of them we liked, and some we weren't as happy with the direction or the money or the scheduling or whatever.
Right.
For whatever reason, like we kind of found ourselves like still looking, and Matt just kind of really. I think he really got us as a band because he was already a fan and already kind of a supporter of the band. So I think he really understood like what we are and what we want to be and where we were kind of wanting to go better than anyone else, and really kind of set out to not necessarily like reinvent the wheel with us, but just kind of find the things that we did well and help us to kind of do them better than we've ever done them. We had a lot of different things like in the approach to the record that we had before. Like we recorded it live, which is something we'd never done. So Matt's whole interpretation of the recording process is that his goal was not necessarily to like capture an idea, but more to capture like a performance, like a moment, like a really compelling performance. So he was really great about that stuff, and he did help us to like in terms of like song structure and arrangement to add like quirk and interesting like aspects and layers to the songs. It was honestly the most fun I've ever had making music. You know, and Matt's a super
He's kind of like a CEO, like producer, meaning just like he's made the process so that there was nothing that got in the way. We were able to just play. Kevin Butler, the sound engineer he works with, is also like a huge part of that. But you know, there's times where you're recording where you get some sort of like hitch that takes 3 hours. All of a sudden, you're just like bored or tired or what? You know what I mean? It's just like it gets tapped and your juju gets kind of like all out of whack. But like that process, we doing a song a day, like just ripping them out. He made that. He just greased the wheels and made it.
Well, Matt's a music lover, which to me as a producer is more important than if I come to you and I'm just commercial and all I can look at you as guys is for money. I don't really care what you're putting out as long as it makes money. Matt cares probably what you're putting out, and he really cares that it's something you enjoy too,
right?
Which is important. Now, I will tell you this: I got caught up in a little bit of a trap listening to you guys' music that I ended up reading was a trap a lot of people fall into. I all of a sudden thought you were a Christian band. Yeah. Okay, and a lot of people think that. However, the more I kept listening and the more I kept reading, some of your lyrics are your break from Christianity, which really hits home with me and my brother more than you know. We haven't had time to talk, but it's really interesting. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, our record before Transgressor, which we did Transgressor with Matt Noveski, and the one before that is called We Are All Where We Belong, and it's basically a concept record about going from being a person of faith to being an atheist or a humanist or whatever you want to, you know, whatever title you like to slap on yourself. But and it's kind of like I was raised in a very religious household and in a very religious community. Church was a huge part of my life, and very much so like my faith is a very big part of my identity, as it is wont to be. So when you kind of realize you have that moment in your life where you're like, I'm not really in this club anymore. You're like, what happened to me? You know? And you just realize like I just can't. Like I've seen too much, I've read too much, I've learned, I've had whatever the case would be. Like
his daughter coming along.
Just there was a lot of things, you know. But I kind of just woke up one day just to be like, if I met myself right now and had to convince me of Christianity or religion or any kind of theism, I don't think I could do it. I don't have a case for it, really. And that was just like a big moment for me to just go, man, like, what does that mean for me? You know? And so we made the whole, it was just all I was thinking about. So it was all I was writing. So the whole record is just kind of about all the emotions that kind of come up when you realize, like, this isn't me anymore. Like, what does that mean? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What does it mean for my relationships? How am I going to raise my kid? Like, what is this? I don't know. So, one thing about that record that I think is really interesting, kind of predictably so, is that the way that people interpret that record is very drawn on party lines. We have a lot of Christian fans that listen to that record and they're like, oh, that record's great. It's so sad.
Right.
And then we'll have like non-believer fans that are like, that record is so like joyous and celebratory. And so I just think it's funny how it's like exactly whatever you think is like you're under one camp or the other about that record. One thing that everyone agrees on though is that it's really good.
Like we were never overtly like a Christian band or anything like that either.
He's been a heathen like the whole time.
Shame on you.
Well, no, it's really funny, man. Like, I mean, I never really thought what we were writing was all that controversial, to be honest. Like, these guys were kind of like murmuring before release that. And this is kind of
Release
and I
our
was kind of like,
fans.
what's the big deal? And then it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, like it caused some ripples in my family, and I was like, oh, I didn't even really know that this was gonna be a thing. But like, we were never a Christian band. I think he weighs heavily on the imagery because I think it's compelling imagery.
I mean, I was writing songs about like, I've always been a very autobiographical writer, and I was a Christian, so it's like I was writing songs about my life from the perspective of someone who believed in those things, you know. So obviously, like I feel like it naturally fuels that, but we were never. There was never been once in our lives like an altar call at a Quiet Company show or any like me like let me take a fan's hand. Let's talk about your faith or where you have your quiet time, you know, like none of that shit, you know. So I don't know if I can say.
You're good.
No, you're
whatever.
good.
But yeah, so we were never. There was never anything evangelical about Quiet Company. We played
both sides. Like even with this
even
record
now,
too, it's
like
kinda like
there's still nothing evangelical about Quiet Company,
Right.
even
No.
though we're on the other side of the thing. I said what I wanted to say. I meant every word. I still think that, you know.
Are you moving on?
Dude, if I ever change my mind, like I'll write another concept record about that, you know. But you know, I got other things in life. You know, I had a kid, and you know, I got divorced this year, and
Don't mention that around Nate.
My last marriage was 39 days.
that's largely what.
I'm going for hours next. Go ahead.
That's kind of like Transgressor is kind of like a writing on the wall record about that, and the Lord knows what our next record's gonna sound like. But you know,
Now, do you write all the lyrics, right?
yeah.
Are you guys ever like, man, would you come on with this stuff?
I think
a little bit.
I think
with the religious, like we were actually kind
if
of
I'd
like.
written another record about religion, I think these guys would have been like,
Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, we were just like, I just didn't want to be typecast as like. It's funny because we went from being like a Christian man to like that atheist man. I was like, I don't really want to be like a poster child for some movement
yeah, I
like
don't
that.
want to represent anybody other than myself, you know. If I'm a slave to anything, it's the rhythm.
Oh,
We
yeah.
actually countered the release of Belong with an EP of Christmas like covers to
Hymns
kind
and
of like
shit.
to like soften the blow to kind of like
Well,
that's
I
what we
didn't-
kept saying.
I
It was
didn't
like,
do that to soften the blow.
I think I
like
saw
those
something on
songs.
Facebook about that,
Yeah.
and I was like,
And that's-
or on YouTube,
yeah.
and I was like, wait a second.
We say it at our
Christmas?
Christmas parties. You know, we do these like handful of like Christmas house shows every year that are about to come up. And, like, and I kind of say it every year. You know, we talk about like, you know, because we are. It's very out there what we think about Jesus. You know, very out there. And what we think about religion as a whole. Like, we're not fans. We've been very vocal about that, but at the same time, like, give a shit what you think. You know, like do whatever you want. Just keep it out of my business the same way anyone else feels. But we do all these Christmas songs and stuff, and I feel like that can be confusing to people, and so we kind of always say like, look, we're gonna sing these hymns. I haven't changed my mind. I don't expect you to change yours based on what I think. Like, yeah, it's like I said, we're loyal to any one idea above all. It's like that a good melody is, you know,
I like
is like paramount.
yeah,
So like,
people can connect over it. And,
yeah.
you know,
Oh Holy Night's one of the most beautiful songs in the world. Of course we're gonna sing it. And it's public domain, so we ain't gotta pay anybody for it.
Now let me ask
That's
you
the
this.
main thing.
I've always wanted to ask a guy this that writes the songs for a band. Do you feel a lot of pressure to put a new album out? I mean, what if nothing's coming to you, man? I mean, do you force it,
Oh, you
or
mean like,
do you sit around stressing about it? Like, these guys are counting on me for a new album. You know what I mean?
I feel a lot of stress, not about my ability to write songs, but my ability to write the right song. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I could sit in my room and write songs all day. Like, I've had writer's block before, but like, it always, you know, passes, and it's not something that I really worry about in any legitimate way. But I do stress out about a lot about like, well, what's the next? Like, have I written a song good enough? You know, like to make the next thing in like the story of Quiet Company. Have I facilitated?
you kind of
that
always have
next
to
level
outdo your
of
last thing,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're like if you're making records where people are like, oh man, this one's not as good as the last one. Oh, this one's not. Then you're kind of like, the story kind of meanders where you always kind of want to be.
I do feel like we're writing a lot right now, you know, and for whatever the next thing we do is, and honestly, like I kind of feel like I'm in my prime, and we're about to the next thing we do, I think is going to be like the best thing we've ever done. And I would like to say that we feel that way every time we put out a record, but it's not actually always true. So, you know, and I'm not going to be a guy that spew like bullshit about like that stuff. So, but I do feel very excited about whatever it is we're going to do next.
I think we're all excited about what you're going to do next. Hey, man, we're looking forward to it. And I know this is going to be, I mean, a lot of people don't think about this, but we want to thank you guys for coming to St. Louis to play for us. A lot of people, you're thanking us for coming to see you, but no, that's not really it, man. You guys are putting yourself out, you're traveling the country to give us good music, and you're putting forth the effort, and we appreciate it. That's what we do on our show, man. We want to promote guys like this who are putting out just gold for you. All you got to do is go out and look for it. Come down to the demo tonight, check it out. They'll be going on probably, about 10:30? Check it out, man. It's going to be good stuff. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for what you're doing. Thank you guys for taking some time out for us.
Hey, shout out your information where people can find you, though. Everything.
Oh, yeah, we're everywhere that you would look for music. We're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Quiet Company. On Twitter and Instagram, we're Quiet Company TX because we're from Texas. And
QuietCompanyMusic.com, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere.
MySpace?
Yeah.
MySpace?
yeah, we still have one somewhere.
Yeah.
Check it out. These guys, hey, these guys are deep, man. When you're listening to their lyrics, you're gonna be like, okay, they've actually thought about this stuff. This ain't no Katy Perry shit.
Most people are probably not smart enough to get us.
Probably not even me, man. I was
snap.
like, wait a
So
second.
if you get us, you're real smart.
Hey, man, I'm feeling pretty intelligent right now. Anyway, hey, this is Quiet Company. We're the Brothers on Whatever Show. Check these guys out on Facebook or wherever they can be found. And check us out, CBS Radio, Monday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. We got badasses like this on all the time. Peace.
Thank you.